Hello, I'm Pauline from Pauline's Quilters World. I want to share with you our gorgeous new pattern, our beautiful bear floor rug. Can you imagine making this for your beautiful grandson or granddaughter to have in their bedroom? It's so much fun to do. Use your scraps of fabric or pre-purchase a jelly roll pack, whichever you would like to do. In our pattern, we show you how to make the rope out of a jelly roll with the batting inside. We show you how to do the chenilling. We put all the pattern pieces in the pattern for you, so it's a great thing for you to sit down and make. And as I said, get out the fabrics out of your stash and have fun with it. And you'll see on the back wall that we've got the gorgeous butterfly as well. It's also done with the jelly roll and chenilling. So this is our butterfly pattern as well. And this is just going to show you the basics of making these style of rugs, but if you go onto our website, we've got some wonderful videos there for you showing you exactly how to do this step by step. But to start with, these strips were 2.5 inches wide. So out of a jelly roll, you're going to get your strips that are 2.5 inches, but if you're going to use up your stash, you will cut your fabric 2.5 inches. In this rug, we've used the rainbow pre-cut batting or wadding. This is cut 2.25 inches wide. Just lay the batting on top of your fabric strip, so there's a little bit of fabric showing on each side. We're going to fold the ends in on both sides till they meet. Just press the first couple of inches to keep it nice and even. Then we use the jelly roll sasher tool. This one's been designed with a wider split here compared to our normal sashes. These ones are for fabric only, these are for fabric plus batting. Go straight in. We're going to go over this centre bar and back down. Then we're going to pin that into the ironing surface. And I always pin with the double fork pin because I need equal tension on both sides. If I pin with two separate pins, it's going to give me different tension and the fabric could stretch as I go through. Just fold the ends over. Just press a little bit more. Now we're ready to go to the sewing machine. So go to your sewing machine. We're going to fold this over in half. Then we're going to use our 1/4 inch foot, and we'll explain all of that in the video. We're going to stitch a 1/4 inch in. And as we're sewing, I'll just use the pin as an anchor here, pretending that is the foot and the needle of our machine. We're just going to fold this and pull. So we're at the sewing machine doing this. Then that holds it in place while we roll over to stitch. And you just keep folding and pulling ahead of yourself till you get the whole thing done. Then we just come back and we zigzag together. So this, from the top of the bear to the bottom of the bear, that is one whole strip in a jelly roll or a width of fabric. So you don't have to do any trimming off or anything like that. The only trim off you're going to do is around the outside edge. And we suggest you keep all the spare bits to bind them and make a mug mat or something like that. You can make some exciting things with all your leftovers. Now let's just show you a little bit about chenilling, because I just thought the chenilling gives the bear a lovely kind of interest and a more warmer feeling, as it has with the butterfly body. It just makes it stand up nicely. Once again, all of this fabric can come from your stash. 4 or 5 layers of fabric. Some of my colours are different in each one. It's not very noticeable once you chenille it, but if this is a different colour set to this one down here, much in the same tones, you won't notice it by the time you chenille it up. So we've got 5 layers of fabrics here. So we just layer them all right side up sorry, I've only got 4 in this one, so 4. Then we're going to draw lines and stitch lines on the true bias. It has to be across on the bias of your fabric, because chenilling must be on the bias. If it was on the straight grain, when we cut it, slice it open and chenille it up, we'd get all this would be just frayed fabric. It just wouldn't hold together like it does here. So we've got all of this stitched. Once you've got it stitched, you're then going to cut it open. And to cut it open, I like to use the chenille cutter. I particularly like this one. There's a lot of different brands out there, but I found this arm here makes it much easier for me to get in here. Now, if you're like me and haven't got the strength in your hands anymore, just use your scissors, and we're going to cut a little bit just at the beginning. Now, I could use my scissors to cut right through here, but when you're doing big amounts of it, like for all of this, you really get a sore hand by the time you finish. So I just open that first little bit. I put this arm in here, but I'm not going through the last layer. I'm just doing the first layer, and then hold it firm, and you just slice through. And you just continue slicing to get all that opened up. Then you will cut out your shape. Then you'll stitch your shape onto your, whoops, we'll just get this one cut, just so you get a better idea. Then you can see how it's opened it up, but not the last layer. Cut out your shape for all your individual pieces. We then glue it onto the rug with the Roxanne glue basted to hold it in place, because it's too bulky to pin through, and the pins will allow too much movement. Then we stitch around, all the way around the raw edge. We then put the pads on. They're just stitched around with raw edges. And once you've got it all on there, we'll just imagine this is the piece that we've got stitched down. We use the chenille brush and we brush. Now, you can let it just lay flat, but it doesn't give you the interest that you need. This brush opens up all the fibres. Be careful what sort of brush you use. I've tried other brushes like over the time, and what I've done is I've rubbed holes in the fabric. This is a special brush for chenilling. It's made specially for that. It's Teflon bristles that get in amongst the fibres and brush it all up. Once you've got that done, all you've got to come back and do is do a zigzag stitch, really close zigzag stitch, to put the features in. Or you could do this by hand. You could do a chain stitch or some sort of hand stitching with a nice thick thread in there to give the nice effect. And we did bind at the edge of the rug before we put the pads on, and we used the 1 3/4 inch sasha tool to make the binding, because it needed to be a little bit wider than a regular binding to sit nicely over that bulk of the rug. So we want you to have fun, create all these beautiful shapes that we're coming up to. You know, make this for your little granddaughter, make this for your grandson. They'll have them forever to pass down to their children. It's so much fun. So don't forget to watch our videos. Go onto YouTube, because we have videos there. Go onto our website, www.pqw.com.au. Subscribe to get our email newsletters so you know when new things are coming out. When you go onto YouTube, don't forget to click that bell, ring that bell, because you're going to then get notifications when we put up a new video for you. And we're having so much fun doing that and sharing all of our different creations with you in the quilting world. So enjoy, stay happy, and have so much fun.